Welcome to the featured discussion for 13 July 2021. In this discussion, we will study the Northeast Council and why it is in news. The article will also cover what are the important mandates of Northeast Council, what is the difference between Northeast Council and the other councils, zonal council and interstate council, and what and how Northeast Council is aiding the development of Northeast region. Firstly, Northeast Council has been in news because the Chief Minister of Arunachal Pradesh has recommended that Northeast Council could play the role of the important think tank body, important planning and think tank body that NITI Aayog plays for the whole country. So Northeast Council could play the same role for Northeast states, right? And this is where we must understand a quick background to it. For understanding the Northeast Council, we must understand what is the Interstate Council. Now, Interstate Council is a body which represents all the states together and the union. It is represented through Article 263 of the Indian Constitution. That means it is a constitutional body formed for dispute resolution, formed for discussing the issues of common interest and recommending important measures for progress and development. The chairperson of this council is Prime Minister because it is representative of all the states, and it also has membership of Chief Minister and other ministers of the union, etc. Right? Similarly, we have zonal councils. So zonal council is represented by important 5 zones of the country: North, Central, Western, Eastern and Southern. We will skip Northeast Council for a short while. So these 5 regions are represented through 5 zonal councils, and this is not mentioned in the constitution. The zonal councils were formed through State Reorganization Act 1956. So the zonal councils are statutory bodies, statutory, not constitutional bodies. The chairperson is Home Minister, represented by the chief ministers of the various states, right? The main important functions it has are ensuring the integration of states and cooperation between the various states and resolution of disputes in case there are any, right? So this brings us back to the Northeast Council. Now, Northeast Council was not represented through the State Reorganization Act 1956, and therefore there was a separate act formed called as Northeast Council Act of 1971. Through that, Northeast Council was formed, and it is represented with 8 states. So Sikkim also, along with all the 7 sisters in the north, right? Along with the mandate of discussing the important issues in the zonal councils, it also has the mandate of talking about the issues of common importance. It will discuss common issues of importance in the Northeast area and security and public order in these special states in the Northeast, right? Now, why are the states here treated special? First of all, they are located at a very strategic position with borders with Myanmar, we have Bangladesh, Bhutan, and we have Nepal, and we have China above and surrounding the region. Secondly, demography. Now, all these states are represented through many tribes, very diverse community, and therefore demography is very diverse and it needs a proper representation. Public order. We understand that there are tendencies to demand for autonomy in the Northeast, and therefore public order is of high importance. We also know that landscape of Northeast is very diverse. For example, Tripura region is plains. Assam and Meghalaya are integrated in a different way. Arunachal is forested, and we also have Himalayas presence here, right? And the eastern region, they are forested, and they are also a watershed between Myanmar and India, right? The states which I have marked here in blue, they also have the presence of Armed Forces Special Powers Act, and therefore these special mandate is required in the Northeast Council. And this is why Arunachal Chief Minister has said that Northeast Council should act as an important think tank body, just like NITI Aayog does for the whole of the country, right? Now, this is where I explained the unique and different needs of the Northeast states. We explained 4 or 5 of them right now. So you could note them down from the last slide, right? It could act as an institutional anchor, right? Instead of the piecemeal approach for development of Assam separately, Meghalaya separately, and Tripura and other states separately, the body can actually integrate all the states and plan for all of them together, right? So this is the important agenda which was spoken of by Chief Minister of Arunachal Pradesh, right? So this could act as the governor of economic and social development in the area. This is Shillong based, and the other important role it can play is that of planning, facilitating development, and addressing the common security challenges in the region. Just what I mentioned, right? Who is the chairperson of this council? Union Home Minister is the chairperson of this council, right? Right. So this is how the important task of the Northeast region can be performed by the Northeast Council. This is what has been recommended by the Chief Minister of Arunachal Pradesh, right? So this is where we must understand what has been the contribution till now of the Northeast Council. Now, in the development of infrastructure transport, this is not a single body which applies. For example, Assam does not develop its own infrastructure and the needs, the physical energy infrastructure by itself. The planning is done in a way that all the states contribute and also gain the resources of the development. For example, if a river flows across Arunachal and then we have Assam and Meghalaya, all the states will be participants in the development of the hydroelectric project. Along with that, if there's a road development, all the states will be receiving the benefit out of it, and also employment. So an overlooking body, an overarching body must participate in their development, and this body is Northeast Council. So important transport networks, roads, bridges, airports, all have been planned through Northeast Council. Power sector, similarly, 30% of the power projects in Northeast area have been aided and developed through Northeast Council. Similarly, agriculture, we have studied that agriculture is lagging in Northeast area, but whatever important activities happen in agriculture, a contribution goes to Northeast Council as well. Sericulture, seed distribution, fertilizer growth, right, all has been aided through Northeast Council. Similarly, health resources, if we have health facilities and infrastructure and manpower, Northeast Council has planned in the training and whole facilitation of the whole process. Industrial development in Northeast area, right? So developing forward linkages. Now see, only setting up an industry is not the key. Setting up the industry and ensuring that there's a forward and backward linkage. For example, if we have tire industry at a place developed, we have to ensure that there's a vehicle industry also. If there is a tire industry at place, and if we have the an important industry linked to petroleum, because tire is an important product formed from the petroleum resources as well, right? So this is the backward linkage, and formation of the vehicle industry is the forward linkage. Now this is the tire industry. So for every industry, the forward linkage is different and a backward linkage is different. Okay, so this is what is also planned by Northeast Council. Tourism and environment, right? So tourist circuits, right, and ensuring that jhum cultivation is avoided in Northeast area, these are all planned by Northeast Council. So if this body has done an important work in the Northeast area, it can actually aid in the development of the whole process. This is where it must be empowered more enough so that it participates in a more effective manner in Northeast area. So what are the delays? What are the lags? Factors which affect the performance of Northeast Council. See, first of all is administrative factors, which include the finances, the delays in the project, the accountability, right? So these are some important factors. The second one is rivalry among the ethnic communities. Because of rivalry among states, for example, inside Nagaland itself, there are so many communities. Inside Manipur itself, we have so many tribals and they have all different aspirations. So these social factors also impede, stop the progress of Northeast Council, right? And then we have the participation of the economic factors, especially the availability of resources. Now there are digital constraints as well. For example, if we do not have the proper networking and digital connectivity, important developments which happen at distance, right, through digital connectivity, they are also stopped. So these are important impediments which actually hold the Northeast Council back and restrict the development of the whole region. So that is about coordination, enhanced coordination. This is one of it. Now, how can Northeast Council become one effective solution for the Northeast area? For example, we must have sustainable projects in the region. Teesta, Subansiri, these rivers have hydroelectric power projects. Now, these are mega projects. If smaller projects are installed, this will become more sustainable for the region. It will give more employment as well. So sustainable projects is one important way, right? Then we have effective monitoring, right? Monitoring of the schemes that the council has assisted and aided. So it must ensure that the project which has to be carried out, it has social benefit, the size, time frame, the finances, they are well laid out in the region, right? Along with that, the idea is to ensure that there is an institutional strengthening of the whole mechanism, right? Institutional strengthening through Northeast Council. one important example of this is the presence of BCIM highway. Now, Northeast acts as an important gateway to the East Asia, right? So this is the Northeast part, and just look at this map. This map is not to show you the important things written here, but just look at the map, right? Northeast locates itself at such a strategic location between India and the Eastern Asia part, Southeast Asia part. Now, these are important economic corridors, and there is a BCIM corridor as well, right? Bangladesh, China, India, and Myanmar corridor, right? So this corridor is the one which passes through strategic Northeast area. If the Northeast area is developed, planned in a way that this corridor integrates itself with it, then there is a successful future for the Northeast development. After understanding this article, take a minute off, and after that try to attend this question. Analyze the significance of Northeast Council in the development of Northeast India. So in this answer, what you will write is basically a very short description of what Northeast Council is. After that, you have to talk about the significance, not just significance. You have to analyze the various significant parameters of Northeast Council, and towards the conclusion, you can mention that it acts as a center point between India and East Asia, Southeast Asia for connectivity. So this is an important growth avenue for the country. So this is how this answer can be completed. Thank you.